And most of you are probably familiar with this term, or it's Heishi. The Japanese is Hayashi, yeah? And so Heishi is basically anything that is sort of, it's like a call out almost, yeah? So usually they're, sometimes they're mixed into the song, or sometimes they're actually extra, yeah? Stuff that you put in. Normally for like Eisa or this kind of setting, the Heishi is usually a way to sort of keep people going. It's a way to encourage people, yeah? And so when you have, normally Eisa is done within the villages, right? And basically these, the dancers will go through the whole village and sort of dance in front of each of the houses. And so they'll be out all night. You know, usually they start late at night already. And so, you know, by the time they're finished doing all their rounds, it's like 11 midnight, or you know, 11 at night, midnight, or something like that. And so, you know, most of them are drunk, but at the same time, most of them are tired from carrying around, you know, the drums and things like that. So, the Heishi is used to sort of encourage each other. You know, so you have really popular call and responses, right? That you folks, most folks know, iya sasa or ya sasa, haiya. Yeah? So iya sasa from one side, haiya from the other. So it can either be from, say, the drummers to the dancers, or dancers to drummers, etc. And when you have a sort of an audience involved, the audience is Heishi from the audience is important to sort of encourage the performers to keep on going. Quiet audience for Okinawan performances is kind of miserable. And so it's yeah, way of for them to say, you know, keep the spirit out there. There's all different kinds of Heishi. The Yasa Sahaya is one of the most popular ones. There's ones that like Na DJ, Na DJ, Na Tache means one more time, two more times.
Can you say that slower?
Na DJ, Na DJ, Na Tache. It's one time, two times. It literally means one time, two times. But it's kind of just say, you know, it's like say 1, 2, 3 or something. There's a some of you folks probably have that already built into your routine, right? City, stuff like city, sort of a really. And most of the Heishis actually are done from the gut, yeah. So I know a lot of folks are actually used to yelling it at the top of your lungs from your throat. Do that all night, you're gonna lose your voice. So actually try to keep it down here from your gut, yeah. So it's not just ya sa sa, it's ya sa sa, yeah. Yeah, things like that. So you know, you get the same projection, but you're gonna save these things. Yeah, there's all different kinds. Yeah. Yeah, things like that. All different kind of things. And normally you use it to try to keep the rhythm as well. Yeah. So. If especially during this last section, I think everybody's going to be sharing the stage with each other. If you can, if you remember, try to encourage each other, yeah, as you guys do so. Actually, yeah, I think it really helps when there's Heishi from other people besides the performers. And so Heishi is not necessarily. It's not it's not supposed to be it's not really part of the song, or it's not like a performance thing. It's actually more for that sort of borrowing energy from each other. Yeah. And so usually when performers do Heishi, they'll expect the Heishi back from somewhere, yeah, or vice versa. So if you guys can, you know, simple things like to help keep the rhythm. You know, Toshindo is very rhythmic. It has a very regular beat. So even things like sa 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 sa, just to keep the rhythm going. Yeah. Ya sa sa, things like that. So I can't think of this. There's tons of others. I can't really think of it off the top of my head right now. So,
can we simplify, just pinpoint areas that they could do it, so that they can practice and recommend or whatever?
Well, between verses, is one good place. Yeah? I think most groups have it kind of built into their choreography too as well. Stuff like that, you have to sort of keep it going. And just actually, pretty much, it's kind of random. Don't be afraid of intruding on the vocals. Yeah, we'll be Mike. You won't. So, go ahead and put it in. But just make sure, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're on time. Okay? There's nothing worse than because it's percussive. The heishi is meant to be sort of percussive. And so, if you have a person who's doing heishi that's off time, you turn and drop. That's kind of a miserable situation to be in. So. Yeah, so try to keep that. Try to ride the rhythm of the music as well. Yeah, pretty much just again be creative. Be creative. Try to do it in the spirit of actually sort of your peers, everybody that's sharing the stage, that you want to encourage them to do their best. You don't want them to get tired. You want them to put as much energy as possible. So it's your way of it's basically vocalizing. Okinawans are into really sort of throwing energy. Yeah, so I was talking about kari earlier, right? So sort of this thing is about the emotion of throwing and taking in energy. Heishi is a way of actually, with your voice, throwing out that energy as well.
Can I ask, so young Okinawans, do you have heishi that you do regularly, or
all the songs?
Can you demo it for us for Toshindoi?
Maybe a different song or something. I really don't. Toshindoi is more like ad-lib, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Maybe it's not really part of that song. I guess they could do one.
We got the spirit master right here. Okay.
Can we put you on the spot? Just to... Oh, come on. Please?
Let the DNA take over.
Okay.
I'll just play and then he'll just pick up anyways.
Could you stand next to him and... I think the question I'm asking is because this is totally new for a lot of people, could we give them an example, I'll record it, of the simple stuff they can do and practice on their own as they listen to the music?
Okay. Well, the easiest one is in between verses. That iya sa. So iya, it's iya sa 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 sa. As many sa's as you want. Until you need to take a breath.
Do you guys want to try and join in with them as we go through it? And we'll focus on that particular one right now.
And actually, if you want to sing, the chorus is the same for each verse, yeah, for Toshindoi. It's Haiyo, sensuru, yuiyana. Haiyo, sensuru, yuiyana. Haiyo, sensuru, yuiyana. I'll have to remember, she's recording it, so it'll be online somewhere. Huh? Aiyo sensuru yuiyana. Yeah, yuiyana. Aiyo sensuru yuiyana. Okay, and then Aiyo sensuru yuiyana. There it is.
Can we do a couple more? Can we just practice?
Let the energy flow.
Oh, come on.
You can rehearse this. can't rehearse excitement.
But you can rehearse the words, right? And the phrasing from the gut.
I'll sing a couple of verses if you guys can just pick up on the chorus. And incidentally, we usually call the chorus, especially choruses like this, the chorus itself for this particular song doesn't have any real meaning. Yeah? Doesn't have a literal meaning, so we would actually consider that Heishi as well. Yeah? And usually Heishi is normally the responsibility of the dancers and drummers. That's our time to go. But anyways, so let's try a couple of verses just so you guys know where to come in and get your vocal cords going. There you go.